Tracy Love. What's up, Tracy Love? Okay, hold on. Hello? Patrice. Scam. Anyway, I'm hot. Y'all, I want to come talk to y'all about budgeting today. I know my last video I did, it wasn't even a video, it was a voice record. How do y'all like those voice records? Because when I'm busy, they are so convenient, and honestly, I like the voice recorders too. Now, I haven't did it in so long, so me bringing it back is like, okay, I can do this. I was honestly thinking about finishing off the rest of this year doing voice records, just so I can really focus on some things I have to get done. Anyway, let me introduce myself. 1 second, y'all. Let me get close and personal and introduce myself. Okay. I am Patrice Langford, the founder of Tracy Love, a personal development brand created to help women heal, set those boundaries, and build confidence through relatable, faith-rooted tools. I create digital workbooks, journals, and courses that speaks directly to women, especially single moms and women of color, and a few good men out there who can relate, who are just tired of shrinking in small spaces that don't see them, or who are tired of shrinking in spaces, not even small, but just spaces that don't see them. Tracy Love is about transforming your mindset, protecting your peace, and becoming the real you without any apology. All right? Okay, so y'all, today I want to talk about budgeting. However, not the normal budgeting. Like, okay, we all know we got a budget. We all know, if you don't know how to budget, look, I made a video. I posted a video. And managing debt. That video, it really kind of gives you a feel of how you should budget. Now, y'all, I don't have no notes. And I kind of just want to talk. And just give my perspective. Not even my perspective. You know what? Let me cut that. Chill with me. Kick it with me, y'all. Because like I say, I don't have no notes. So I might seem like a little bit of everywhere, but I'm not. Whatever. Today been good for me. Look, y'all. So instead of just talking about my perspective on budgeting, I looked up some scriptures that will help us understand budgeting and how God viewed on budgeting. All right. So I've got like 10 scriptures down here, but I want to talk about this one that stood out to me. The one that stood out to me was, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. That is Timothy, the First Timothy, Timothy 6, chapter 6, verse 10. Y'all already know I haven't did Bible study in a minute, but I'm trying to get back on that. Okay, so that's why I'm like, let me pull up some Bible verses that can, that we can talk around budgeting. So, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Now that's, like I say, the First Timothy, verse 6, chapter 6, verse 10. Yeah, I'm not doing this video over. Y'all just gonna have to love on me, okay? So it says, not money itself, but idolizing it. And I want us to really think about that. I don't think money itself is evil. Let's just talk about it real quick. I don't think money itself is evil. But when you idolizing money, when you putting money over all, then that's when it becomes evil, or that's when you begin to do evil things to get it, or however, whatever. I just want to really remind everybody that managing money is important. Managing it instead of worshiping it. Because at the end of the day, God do provide for us, and we need to steward well what he give us. So let's just talk about budgeting in this scripture real quick. My way of budgeting, I know y'all probably heard me talk about it before. My way of budgeting, how I budget, I have to write everything down. I was just talking to a female earlier today, this woman, and she was telling me how she wanted to get back into journaling and writing. And I will forever advise people to journal, write, track, because that's something that really helped me out. When we write down everything and we can see what we got to do, we can see it. You get what I'm saying? Other than just thinking about it in our head and then trying to remember. We getting older. My memory is not as great as it was 10 years ago. So I have to track everything. I have to write everything down. And part of my budgeting, how I budget, is I have to write everything down. Even when it comes to like managing debt, managing, like wanting to save, trying to save for your retirement and all this other good stuff that goes into budgeting. So write everything down and then move accordingly. Let me pull up some, real quick, y'all. Yeah, I put up some steps. I'm about to read some of these steps that y'all can follow on a step-by-step approach on sticking to a budget and building a budget, and remembering that God still provides for us. We should not idolize money. Even with all our challenges and bills, we should not be putting our bills on a pedestal or putting money on a pedestal. We need to focus on God. Y'all, let me read 2 more scriptures before I even do this step by step. Okay, it says Luke 14:28. Luke verse 14, chapter 28. It says, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? This is a good fit for budgeting, reading this scripture. It's because budgeting is biblical. Planning your money is about wisdom, not worry. When you know how to plan, or even learning, planning your money is about being smart, being wise, where you do not have to worry. Okay, another one I got is Proverbs. Y'all know I love Proverbs. Proverbs verse 21, Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5 says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Okay, so rushing through money without a plan can lead to regret. Be steady, prayerful, and budgeting. When you do that, that leads to peace. And then my third one I got down here, I'm not going to run through all of them, but my third one was that 1 Timothy verse 6, chapter 6 verse 10. I'm going to get it right one of these days now. And that's saying, for the love of money, not money itself is evil, but when you idolize it, it is evil. So it's smart and wise to plan and budget your money and not run through it, so you won't have to worry, you won't stress, and you won't put money on a pedestal. Alright, you won't idolize it. Alright, y'all, let's break down some steps on a step-by-step approach to creating a budget. Like I say, I know I done read some of this stuff, or I done went through it, my perspective. Right now, I'm reading off of Google. Okay? But when I did my perspective, I'm going to tag the video below, managing debt, my perspective. But it's basically the same thing. Okay, so look. When you want to create a budget, you got to determine your income. You got to have some type of flow. You have to have some type of income to manage a budget, whether it's big, small, however, you have to have some type of income. So that's first thing first. Get some income. Second thing is track your expenses. That's making that list. Identify your monthly expenses, whether that's house needs, your wants, your food, bills, whatever. Track all that. Write all that thing. Write all those things down where you can see it, where you can be able to recognize and you can identify what you need and what do you have to spend your money on. Then the third thing they got down here is set realistic goals. So set realistic goals as far as, okay, I know I want $5,000 in my savings. I want to have X amount of money for my retirement. I want to have this year, I want to pay down some debt, X amount, whatever. Set those goals. Make them realistic, okay, y'all? Y'all already know how I feel about setting realistic goals, because look here. Sometimes in our head, it can be like, okay, I want $10,000 in my savings account by the end of the year, and it's like, look here. How we gonna do that when you gotta, your income ain't, you get what I'm saying, or whatever? However, just make sure y'all have those realistic goals. Prioritize your goals. If you trying to get 10K in your retirement plan, but you falling behind on rent, it's like, set that goal realistically. Like, okay, you can do 10K, you can probably pay up rent and then do whatever, however, but set those goals, make it realistic, and make them where you can hit them. Not too big. Even if they got to be really, really, really small, make them small so you can hit that goal and move on to the next one. All right. And then it got design your budget plan. So that's that comparing your income to your estimated amount of expenses. They got a rule down here, y'all. Consider using a budgeting method rule, which is the 50-30-20. So 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% towards your saving and your debt repayment. I'm gonna say that again because we talking about designing a budget plan. So once you have recognized your total income and then your expenses, go ahead and do this rule, a 50-30-20 plan. 50% of your income should be going towards your needs. 30% should be going towards your wants, and 20% should be going towards saving and debts. Okay? Once you have got that plan together, go ahead and put it in action. Now, put it in action, that's tracking. So it might take a little time. You get what I'm saying? It might take time for you to actually track a whole month, review that month, and then track the next month, review that. You get what I'm saying? So review your plan, put it into action. The last step is adjust. If you know this month, okay, I did it like this, I put more in my savings, or I put more on 50% on my needs, and I should have did 60%, or however, adjust to your liking, adjust to how you need it. And like I say, I be saying this stuff is because I'm either going through it, I have gotten through it, or yeah, those two, or I'm in it. Like I say, I think this stuff is important. I think we should add God more into our daily lives. Like whatever we do, be very intentional and let him lead us. Let him, guide us. That's why I started off with scriptures, because I feel like even with budgeting, we need God help with that as well. We need God help with everything. I don't know about y'all, but everything I put my hands on, everything I focus on, I'm listening to, I'm here, I need a okay with God. I need God to be like, yep, that's how you do that, or whatever. However, I need to include him. I include him. So I would advise everybody else to do it. Alright? And that's that, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and skedaddle. I love y'all. Dripping all over me. I love y'all. Look, I wanted to show my face. I didn't have no notes, but I'm like, I really want to 11:11. I'm like, I really want to just come kick it with y'all and talk to y'all. I should have went live, but I feel like even live is a distraction for me, because I be trying to talk and all this other stuff. So look, that's that. If y'all stayed this long in the video, I appreciate you. I love you. Make sure y'all hitting them like buttons. Make sure y'all hit the bell if y'all already subscribed, so y'all can catch every video I put out. And yeah, comment down some budgeting tips. Give us some tips on how you budget, or what you do. And that's that, y'all. I love y'all. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I will catch y'all in my next one. Deuces.